In addition to the immediate experience of beauty based in perception, Emerson suggests that the beauty of the world may also be viewed as an object of the intellect. He writes that, the question of beauty takes us out of surfaces, to thinking of the foundations of things. In other words, we can also experience the world as beautiful because of its rational structure and our ability to grasp that structure through thought. Think for instance of the geometric structure of a crystal, or snowflake, or nautilus shell. Or consider the complexity of the fact that the reintroduction of the wolf in Yellowstone National Park changed the course of the rivers due to a chain reaction of cause and effect through the food web, a process called a trophic cascade. This reinforces Emerson's emphasis on the interconnection between all members of the natural world. As observers of nature, we are confronted with one giant, complex process that isn't of our own making, but that we can also understand, and get a mental grasp on, even if only partially, and be awestruck in that process of understanding. There is thus an emotional or affective component in the beauty of the intellect just as there is in the immediate beauty of perception. If we destroy the natural world, we take away the things that we can marvel at and experience awe towards in these two ways. And this experience of the beautiful through the intellect may reinforce our attributing value to nature here as well, but a deeper kind of value, the intrinsic value I talked about in the last essay. Here it is not only that nature is valuable because it is beautiful, but nature is beautiful because it possesses intrinsic value, grounded in its intelligible structure. Thus we see a close parallel between goodness and beauty in nature. We can find an objective basis for goodness and beauty in nature, namely its intelligible structure, but also see that nature is valuable and beautiful for us, with the particular apparatus that nature has given us for navigating our way through the world. So that which is the basis of truth in nature and provides it with intrinsic value is also that which makes it beautiful. Emerson himself ties these three aspects of nature into one package himself. He should know that the landscape has beauty for his eye, because it expresses a thought which is to him good, and this, because of the same power which sees through his eyes, is seen in that spectacle. This is the unified philosophy of nature that I set out to explicate in the first essay. Nature is the source of truth, goodness, and beauty, because of its intelligible structure, and because of its production of organisms that can recognize that structure, us. And this view of nature includes an inherent call to protect that which is true, good, and beautiful. These are the things that we as human beings are searching for, are striving after, and yet they're right in front of us if only we would listen with our ear to the earth. Although I've been advocating an approach to nature based on its intelligibility, we are far from tying down the giant that is nature with our minds. Emerson writes that, the perception of the inexhaustibleness of nature is an immortal youth. Although we shall continue to try to uncover nature's secrets, let us also continue to take pleasure in our immediate encounter with her. Let us continue to be awestruck, like the child on the seashore, or clambering up a tree. Let us hold on to that experience, and fight for the environment that makes it possible, both for the child in each of us, and for those that come after us. Nature has given us so much that we cannot even imagine. Life on this earth is possible only because of nature. There are many other planets in the universe, but without this nature, life is not possible there. Thus nature is the basis of our life. Nature is not the same everywhere on earth. According to the place, nature changes its appearance, and according to that place provides us with resources, as well as provides comfort to our mind, our eyes. Nature gives us so much, so it is our duty to respect it, knowing its importance, and not to destroy it for our selfishness. So that the children of man can also enjoy its beauty and take advantage of it. Otherwise, one day will be when people will be able to see and feel the beauty of this nature on the computer itself. While people created art and built cities and argued about golden ratios, the natural world continued existing. In Western colonial cultures, a renewed appreciation for the beauty of the natural world grew steadily throughout the 17th and 18th centuries. I imagine this as wealthy white society looking out at rugged or serene landscapes and saying things like and ah and yonder. But why does there seem to be a universal appeal when it comes to certain types of landscape? And how do you know that sunsets are beautiful? For some, natural beauty means the absence of perfection or repetition, but for others it is the widespread, symmetrical repetition that is so pleasing, so meaningful, so memorable. Both havoc and order are spread richly throughout the natural world. Over 10 years ago, a psychology professor working in Tokyo, found that Java sparrows could distinguish between harmonious and discordant music, preferring the more tuneful tunes, and perhaps that is all human appreciation is too. Do we always prefer the harmonious to the discordant, whatever that distinction might look like to us? It is not my place to say that the music you're listening to sounds terrible. On that note, harmony is very much its own kind of beautiful, and it looks and feels like different things to all of us. For me, harmony is found in the way tree branches will sometimes grow curving around to hold each other, the way rain disappears into the surface of the sea, the sitting and sighing in front of landscapes that are too large to comprehend, and when we have enough energy left to dance at the end of the day. We must not forget, though, while oohing and awing about the natural world, that none of it has evolved for us. That it is, in many ways, a marvelous coincidence that we would find any of it beautiful at all. Flowers are not here purely for us to behold, trees do not grow because of us, more like in spite of at this point, and as far as I know, there are no measurable benefits to gazing at clouds. Have evolved, have learned and been conditioned to appreciate many natural sceneries and forms, although I'm not sure that the same could be said the other way around. If you asked a tree, would it find you beautiful? If we could understand the discussions of sea creatures, would they have anything to say about the beauty of humans? With all of this in your mind, choose a day to wake before the dawn. I think you should know what it feels like to walk through wet grass and early spiderwebs while half the world is falling back to sleep. Or to walk the streets while they are missing the heavy noise of people, to notice how the tarmac smells before the light touches it, to watch as the day begins to be colored in with the details. If you're not watchful, the wonderful is made mundane. But on a good day, the mundane can be made miraculous. We often associate the beauty of nature with a majestic sunset, or an awe-inspiring mountain. However, by focusing on the more dramatic aspects of nature, we are only scratching the surface on the sheer extent of beauty which lies within the natural world. By immersing ourselves more intimately with our surroundings, we can find beauty in places we would usually overlook, writes Arnold Berliant. In our high-tech world, there is little we do that is not mediated by some machine or device. Our days are dominated by cell phones and computers, even when we're eating or on the move. But despite the domination of technology, nature still intrudes. Natural beauty seems to have an immediate and unlearned attraction. From little children picking the first spring flowers in thoughtless fascination, to a driver pulling off the road to gaze out over a spreading landscape, and a city dweller searching up through surrounding buildings to look in silent wonder at the moon, there is gratification in these acts, the satisfaction of a primal need. To call these an appreciation of beauty recognizes the resemblance that such unlearned behavior has to the more deliberate acts of self-fulfilling appreciation in nature and art. There are 9 different species of dolphin that are found around the New Zealand coast, including hectors, Maui, and bottlenose dolphins. These dolphins are large, gentle, intelligent creatures who seem to seek out human company when you encounter them. The common dolphin is very distinctive with a crisscross or hourglass type pattern centered on the flanks. Colors include purplish black, gray, white, and yellowish tan. The bottlenose dolphin has dark or light gray on the back grading to white on the undersides, although their color and shape can be variable. The smaller dusky dolphin, less than 2 meters long, is equally as playful. And then there's the Hector's dolphin, one of the world's smallest and rarest dolphins found only in our waters. Spending time with dolphins while swimming or diving in New Zealand is an enticing and humbling experience that is an incredible privilege. Best places to see dolphins. There are many tours and experiences across New Zealand, and every encounter is special in its own special way. The cruise operators take extraordinary care to make sure that the dolphins are not harmed, and in many operations, part of the tour price goes towards dolphin conservation. Auckland Harbour. Explore Auckland's Hauraki Gulf Marine Park, opens in New Window, which encompasses an incredible 1.2 million hectares of coast, sea, and islands. Go on a whale and dolphin watching safari cruise and spot amazing and diverse marine wildlife such as dolphins, whales, seals, rare seabirds, and more. Northland and Bay of Islands. The Bay of Islands consists of 144 islands between Cape Brett and the Pureroa Peninsula. Discover Paihia, Russell, and Kerikeri, picturesque towns rich with history, full of authentic Maori culture and boasts of endless coastlines and abundant marine wildlife including penguins, dolphins, marlin, whales, gannets, and more. Kaikoura. Caught between the rugged seaward Kaikoura Range and the Pacific Ocean, the picturesque coastal town of Kaikoura's special talent is marine mammal encounters. Dolphins, fur seals, and whales live permanently in the coastal waters. Whale and dolphin watching trips leave the town several times a day, and the local seal colony is always entertaining. Along with coastal walks and marine life encounters, there are also plenty of cafes, restaurants, and shops to explore. Depart from Auckland and journey north via SH1. A short detour will lead you to the Kauri Museum, where you can learn the history of mighty Tane Mahuta before having morning tea at the Gumdiggers Cafe next door. Browse Maori art at the King's Theatre before arriving in Paihia, the ideal base for exploring the Bay of Islands. Cruises from Paihia take visitors out and about in the bay. Don't miss the hole in the rock at Cape Brett. It is also the gateway to some excellent day walks. From the picturesque towns of Paihia, Russell, and Kerikeri, you can access almost all the bay has to offer. Whilst boating, fishing, and seeing playful pods of dolphins are some of the favorite maritime activities, the area is also rich with history and authentic Maori culture with plentiful stories to discover. Embark on a voyage of marine discovery when you join a daily cruise, charter a yacht, or hire a sea kayak. Explore around Topeka Point, just north north of Russell to experience an abundance of wildlife including penguins, dolphins, marlin, whales, gannets and more. Enjoy a morning experience in Russell or Paihia before heading south to Auckland. En route, visit the historic Treaty House at Waitangi Treaty Grounds or stop in Whangarei Town Basin in the city center. A detour towards the Titicaca coast to explore more pristine coastlines is also recommended. Auckland is privileged to witness whales at play in the beautiful Hauraki Gulf Marine Park. Part of the Pacific Ocean, the Hauraki Gulf covers an area of 4,000 square kilometers surrounding the Auckland and Coromandel regions. The park is full of a diverse range of rare and exotic ocean life. For example, the critically endangered Bride's whale is one such species that can be found in the Hauraki Gulf. Incredibly, over 25 of the 37 southern hemisphere marine mammals have been identified in the area, which makes up almost a third of the world's population of these species. Kaikoura, on the east coast of the South Island, is one of the only places in the world where you can easily see sperm whales. Sperm whales, the largest of the toothed whales, grow to over 15 meters in length. They dive deep into the ocean to feed. The resident population of sperm whales at Kaikoura can be seen all year round. Orca, killer whales, may be seen from December to March, and humpback whales in June and July. Several dolphin species are seen almost daily in the area. Whales thrive close to Kaikoura because of its unusual submarine landscape. The continental shelf drops quickly into a number of extremely deep underwater canyons. In addition, a warm current from the north meets a colder one from the south. This causes nutrients from deep within the ocean to be carried upward, a phenomenon that helps to support all types of marine life from plankton and krill to dolphins and whales. Best places to see penguins. New Zealand has several places around the country to go on tours and penguin spotting experiences. Keep our penguins and their colonies safe by giving them space when you encounter them. Avoid disturbing their natural behavior, especially when they're nesting. Doing so helps contribute to their conservation. Of New Zealand species, the Karora, or little blue penguin, is the world's smallest penguin. You'll find these penguins when they come ashore at night in the Marlborough Sounds, Akaroa Harbour, Oamaru, Dunedin and Stewart Island. The rare hoiho, or yellow-eyed penguin, is distinguished by its vivid yellow eye band. You'll find them on the Otago Peninsula, just south of Dunedin and round the Catlins region. Dunedin offers the best wildlife tours, giving you an incredible close-up view of penguins, sea lions, and fur seals in their natural habitat. The rare Fiordland crested penguin, Tawaki, is a beautiful bird that lives in the rainforests of Haast, Lake Moeraki, Stewart Island, and Fiordland in the South Island. Birds are still some of our most colorful inhabitants, and New Zealand is a birdwatcher's, or twitcher's, paradise. Our most famous bird is, of course, our national emblem, the kiwi. About the size of a domestic hen, it has an extremely long beak and plumage that is more like hair than feathers. Though endangered, the nocturnal kiwi can still be seen in the wild in Northland and on Stewart Island. You can also see kiwi birds at wildlife enclosures throughout the country.